So I recently switched from Maya to Blender for this indie project we're doing. And I thought I might start this kind of like maybe series, and I'll see if I can add to it, of my experience going from Maya to Blender, particularly as a character animator. I set up and rig the characters as well, but I'm mainly a character animator. And it's from the point of view of a character animator coming from Maya, which I've worked in for years, but now for this project we decided to switch to Blender. So I just wanted to share this whole experience. So one of the things coming from Maya or some of the more industry standard like Unreal Engine, things like that, viewport navigation is normally one of the biggest things. Like, it's part of your muscle memory and stuff, and you just want to be able to use Blender in the same way that you used Maya before with your viewport navigation. So you go to your Keymaps and then you switch from Blender to industry compatible. That means your viewport navigation, holding down Alt and mouse button, is going to work exactly the same way. So once you have done that, unfortunately, there was actually some really good Blender shortcuts that kind of gets lost in the process. And if you're switching mode a lot, and if you get into Blender, you'll realize that you have to switch mode a lot between edit mode and pose mode and, you know, object mode and so on. And if you're a character animator and you've got other stuff in the scene, you're switching all the time. So one of the things that was nice about Blender shortcuts is you use tab a lot, and control tab and so on, to quickly switch between modes. But when you go to industry standard, for example, and objects, then it goes to the Maya ones, which is 1 to get into your vertices, edges and faces, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 goes back to objects. But when it comes to armatures, it suddenly becomes 5, and then it brings up this menu, and then you actually have to go and click a second time to go into pose mode. So this is not really ideal. Press 5 and then you have to go back into object mode, and if you want to quickly switch, it's not very nice. And then also your tab button then suddenly becomes this search and add kind of like feature, which is also, you know, it's I guess a lot of people is gonna need this, but the standard Blender setup, tab was actually pretty useful. But I didn't want to replace tab, so I was like thinking, how can I quickly switch and have the same functionality and bring that to the industry standard one? So this is where I set up a key, and it's the little key called the backtick or backquote. You know, it's the one just at the top left corner of your keyboard, just under escape. I decided to add this key as my quick switch or quick mode change button, but the problem is it's already assigned. So I'm just going to show you how to change this assignment so you can very quickly switch between modes in Blender and get some of that functionality back. So it's a bit of a custom setup, but it works really, really well. So you go to your preferences, you go and then go to Keymaps, go here and search for your Keymaps, and then you press that key down there, and it's just like a little tick there. Then you find it there, and this has been assigned to transfer mode. So I just want to change this, and for this I'm just going to add control to it. So it's going to add that. It's going to keep that transfer mode shortcut, but I'm going to make it so if you press control and that key, then it does the transfer mode, so you don't lose that. So that's fine over there. So that's cool. Actually, I'm just going to switch here, make a copy of this. So if you make a copy of this and just call it mine, for example. So that's been set up there, and now you go to name, switch that off, and then you go to 3D view. You go to 3D global. So 3D view, 3D global. You go here to add. So the order in which you add these are very important. So you first want to do the pose switch mode first. so that if you selecting an armature and you press this shortcut, it's going to first look for pose mode. Because to be honest, for armatures, if you go to edit mode, you're actually editing a skeleton, and you only do that during rigging, and after that you really want to go between pose mode and object mode a lot once it's rigged. So for character readers this might be a little bit different, but if you're a character animator, you definitely want to prefer pose mode. I rather go and switch manually to edit mode when I want to switch to edit mode, so I don't mind that. So let's go back to object mode. Okay, so you want to first add that toggle. So you just click here, add new. You click into it here. Here, search for object, and then object mode set. So select that. Click on your button here, and then press that key. Okay. And then choose here the mode you want to go to, and you want to go to pose mode. Okay. And now I want to do the same in objects. When I edit objects, I want to go between edit mode and object mode really quickly when objects are selected. So I'm going to go and add another one. Do exactly the same thing. Search for object. Object mode set, and here I'm going to set it to edit mode. And I also got to mention, this is important, click on toggle for both. So this is going to be a toggle, and it's going to switch it on and off. So now, then I'm going to save my preferences, and I am going to close this down. So now when I select my rig and I press that key, it goes to pose mode, so I can animate. And when I want to go out of pose mode, I just click it again. Same with objects, click it. Sorry, I actually forgot to switch this key here, so I've just popped back to this. So there you just got to set the key. So okay, there we go. So save preferences again. Okay, let's see. So when I select an object and I press tab, it goes between object mode, edit mode. And when I select an armature, go out of object mode, go to armature, and I just press that key, and I can very quickly switch between those two modes with just one click of a button. And when you're animating a scene and there's other objects involved and you're switching all the time, believe me, this is a huge time saver. So here's a quick screenshot of the setup. If you want to pause the video here and look at it. My YouTube channel is still very small, and I want to start adding more content. I've got a lot of years of experience in the games industry as a character animator and lead animator, and I decided to expand my YouTube channel a little bit and be more on the ball with that. So I want to share some knowledge, and also this project we're working on. Once we're ready to announce, I'll be adding tutorials and how we go through the process of creating this project as well. Plus then switching from Blender to Maya and that whole experience. I've also released some of the tools we're using for this project to help support this project as well. So I'll add some information about that as well in the description. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the video, if you subscribe. I really want to grow this channel a little bit and just get the information out there. So it'd be great if you can please do that. Cool. Okay, I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments and stuff, is there anything I missed? I mean, I'm still learning about Blender as I'm going through the process. And so yeah, cool. Hopefully I'll see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Thank you very much.